Hey nerds, welcome to episode 60 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. Coming up this week on the show, Darren talks about his violent laugh. Both of us know nothing about the new Jon Snow series. And I go a little overboard over Ryan Gosling playing Ken. Ready? Hit it!
Hey nerds, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm your host today, Darren Simple. It's back to the old days, like it should be.
Yes, sir.
It's just me and my co-pilot, Erik.
Greetings, everyone.
We kind of synchronized our shirts up today, but didn't also know that both of us would be wearing nerdy Hawaiian shirts. I like it. It's good. That's some
rocking
good,
my Star Wars Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Really could not tell that was R2-D2 on your shoulder until you told me, because I've seen you wear that shirt before.
Yeah, and then we've got the Millennium Falcon here worked into the
Is
foliage.
Luke's lightsaber a little bit further down?
Oh, that's for the R-rated show. Maybe, I don't know.
I heard it's a big one. I've seen it.
And then you've got the lightsaber. Yeah, the Jurassic Park. You're rocking the Jurassic Park one.
Yeah. Dotson. We got Dotson here. It really feels like I'm Newman on Jurassic Park right now.
I do have a funny story to tell you about the Jurassic Park stuff. So, a couple weeks back, we went up to Grand Junction for my nephew's junior college World Series team was playing and stuff, and so we're coming back from there, and I'm driving down the highway, and I noticed this super cool looking Ford Raptor pickup truck that's all decked out with like accessories and stuff. I mean, it looks super cool, but it's got a bunch of pictures on it that are like definitely like girl power stuff. Like there was a lot of like girl power stickers. Yeah, like I mean, I was like there was some stickers on there, and I can't remember, but I just remember thinking, oh, that girl's got a super cool truck. You know, it's like she's tricked out this Ford Raptor really well. And I look at the license plate, and the license plate says "Clever Girl." And I was like, and it's a Ford Raptor. Nice. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that is, and I gave her the thumbs up as I drove by, and she was like, yeah, and stuff. Cause I was like, oh my gosh, that is super nerdy. And I love everything about that. Like I loved everything about that. The fact that she's driving a Ford Raptor, it's like totally tricked out. And then she's got the whole Jurassic World Clever Girl thing on there. I was like, oh man, that is super cool. Super cool.
That is very just salute you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who you are, but hopefully.
Personally, driving a Ford Raptor, so
right, yeah, that truck is awesome.
Second, you're gonna put a nerd reference in your license plate.
Well done.
You win.
Well
you
done.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well played. Well done. So back to the show's intro. You can find us on all of our social media like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the Nerd Rundown. While you're there, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Leave a comment. We want the show to be the biggest nerdy show out there. Of course, we can all do a better job at our job here, growing the show. And this week I forgot to upload it to audio only format.
Buzzsprout.
We had a bit of a rough week, so apologies out to those audio only fans. We'll get you guys covered here in the next week for sure.
And my editing stuff ran into a couple issues also. Apparently I was typing over the show as it was edited. So I do apologize for that.
Ferociously.
So, yes.
Ferociously.
My typing is, I'm an angry typer. I am an angry typer.
It is.
So.
It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, we apologize here at the Nerd Rundown for our less than professional atmosphere.
You get what you pay for, though. You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for, and we want to grow the show, but also we need you guys to help us grow the show.
Yes, we do.
I think there's only so much that we can do to help grow it, but it's the fans out there, the nerds that are listening.
Yep.
We need your help to grow this, and I think that's always a big part of everything. Is the fan base helps spread the word. So spread the word.
Yep.
And obviously you can listen to us on all the other major podcast services when we're good enough and on our game to release them on those platforms. So again, apologies, Erik. Last year when we started this show, there was a topic that would come up every once in a while that we hesitated to talk about because it's such a big part of our lives, and the ending to it wasn't the greatest. We got some Game of Thrones news here to start us off on the rundown that I have very mixed feelings about, and I'll tell you why, but we got news this week, Erik, that Jon Snow himself, Kit Harington, is set to reprise his role as Jon Snow in a Game of Thrones spin-off sequel series. And it's already in development at HBO. And it is confirmed that Kit is coming back. So he's got a busy few years ahead of him.
Yeah.
I know that
you start actually.
Feelings,
yeah, I want you. I want you to start. I want you to start with this one. So
okay. Well, all right. So anything Game of Thrones right now, I'm like, ugh.
Right.
I'm not excited about, and I'm like I couldn't even tell you when the new Targaryen show's coming out.
Yeah.
They could announce a Dunk and Egg series tomorrow, which is a Game of Thrones book, or it's like a offshoot book.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. They could announce that series tomorrow, and I would be very excited. And so when I saw the news on Thursday or Friday of this past week, I froze for about a minute, and I was thinking really hard, like I'm really scorned. I'm a big time Game of Thrones scorn fan.
Yeah.
Scorned Game of Thrones fan. And Jon Snow was at the heart of my love for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
His hero's journey, the path he was going down, his redemption, his came back from the dead. I just love Jon Snow. He's one of my favorite TV characters of all time, and he didn't get the ending that he deserved. I mean, that moment in season 5 at Hardhome when the boat's just floating away from the Night King as he rises is a maybe top 1 or 2 moments in TV history for me.
Right.
And at that moment, we're like, oh my God, they just showed us their end game. This is where they're heading towards. And I couldn't imagine how amazing it was going to be. And then it was the exact opposite. Anyway, I am talking a lot to say that I am actually excited for this TV series because D&D are not involved. David Benioff and David Weiss, the showrunners of the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And seeing Kit Harington come back, I know Kit is not happy about the way season 8 ended, or the series ended. And I can see Kit wanting to get back into this role and give some redemption to this character.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. So that's where I stand on this. Now, there's a lot that can change between now and then in either direction. But for now, I will keep my excitement I'll keep my excitement in a more positive circle for now.
Yeah.
Where are you at with this show?
Very similar to you. I am cautiously optimistic about I'm cautiously optimistic about what the series is going to going to look like. So,
right.
You know, let's just remind everyone that HBO spent $30 million on a pilot episode for a show with Naomi Watts that never happened.
That is so much money.
You know, $30 million. And
I mean, I could have used that 30 million.
Yeah, I mean, you can fight world hunger, you know, or whatever, and with 30 million bucks on a show that never flew. Like, and it had a good premise to it, so I don't understand.
And a big time actress.
Big time actress. I mean, if you don't like Naomi Watts, I don't know. I can't help you. Like, I really can't. She is a really tremendous talent. And so wow. And she's married to a tremendous talent. You know, Liev Schreiber is just one of my favorite guys. So I am cautiously optimistic as well. Yeah. You know, I am just as equally scorned as you are. The life cycle of, and the ending of the build up and stuff to Game of Thrones, and then the finish was just not there. It just was not there. And I think maybe they can salvage something out of this. You know, I don't know if he's still going to be sleeping with his aunt. Has there ever been a
franchise that has fallen off so fast?
Gosh,
I mean, that's how bad it was. Think about that first.
You know, it's hard to wrap up a series. It's hard to wrap up a show. But it's not that hard, you know, like, and especially when you have it like that, you know, that like all these epic pieces like kind of laid out there for you, and you just need to kind of execute on them. And then when you do, you just go in directions that really are not necessary to go in, you know, and to, like, you build up for 2 seasons to a fight between 2 guys, and it's over in 50 minutes, you know, and you're like, that sucked. And then for 40 minutes of that 50, you can't even see anything because it's so damn dark, you know. It's like, this is just bad. But anyhow, I feel the same as you. I am cautiously optimistic because of Kit's dedication to the role. Yeah. I think he tried to see if he could try his hand at movies. He got a couple of stuff, some movie stuff out there, and I don't think he really flew. He wasn't like the big star that he expected. You know, I don't think he was the big draw that people expected him to be.
Well, I think season 8 hurt that a lot though too. Because here's the thing: is he's in Eternals, and he's got a small part, but his character is going to be a big part of the MCU moving forward.
Yeah.
And people are like dying to see him in that role. Yeah.
So if he's going to be doing both, he's going to be a busy dude. You know, he's going to be a busy guy. So we'll see. He did. You're right though, because he did try his hand at movies. Like he was in Pompeii? Pompeii, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that did not do well. And I don't think people saw him as a leading actor at the time. You know, and then in the ending of season 8, nobody wanted to touch his Game of Thrones.
Right. Right. You know, and Pompeii, and that's the tragic thing is, like, Pompeii was a terrible movie. That had nothing to do with Kit Harington. It was a terrible movie, you know, and same thing with...
he has some abs in that movie. Holy shit.
Well, but he basically was playing Jon Snow, like playing like a Jon Snowish character. Type. So it's like, all right, well, but with you know, with the Eternals, I think he's starting to he gets a chance to show some acting chops and stuff. So we'll see how that pans out. But all in all,
what do you think this show? Okay, so it's a spin-off sequel, right?
It's supposed to take place. Yeah, it's supposed to take place after the Night King saga and after
season 8.
After season 8 takes place, they haven't really alluded to how far into the future this be, but it can't be too far because I mean the guy hasn't aged that much, you know.
It's been 3 years,
right? So, but he's going to go back to being with the wildlings and living north of the wall, or what's left of the wall, you know, because clearly part of it's
or is it going to be something different? Like, could it be like I'll only sign this contract and come back if somehow he takes his rightful place on the Iron Throne or something, you know? Like, I wonder if it's something crazy that brought him back.
Okay. I mean, I see where you're going.
He wants to.
I don't think
to go big with it. You know.
I don't think you can. You can't put the toothpaste. You can't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste thing. You know, like it's not gonna.
Like, I'm interested to see more. I totally get what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
Why? Like, would it be dumb for him to go after the Iron Throne now?
Yeah.
But maybe something so crazy happens that it like is a good story.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I'm excited to learn more. We'll start there. Let's. If they're like, oh, this is Jon Snow up in the north above the wall, and now it's warm and there's no snow because the White Walkers are gone.
Yeah.
And he's just like hunting deer. You know, like,
yeah.
That's not gonna be fun. So there's definitely going to be some intrigue as to what the hell the show is about. And speaking of what the hell is this show about, next on the rundown we have word that a Wonder Man Disney Plus series is in development at Marvel Studios. Wonder Man is one of the classic Avengers from the 70s, but maybe one of the least known Avengers of all time.
Yeah.
For the general audience, not a damn person is going to know.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is. Yep.
But he is quite the character. He's actually an actor in movies.
Okay.
That gets his powers. Anyway, this it's rumored that this show is going to be a parody on Hollywood life, and then he's also a superhero. So I'd love to see Marvel Studios like taking, how they take different genres on. Doctor Strange was, more in the horror genre.
Yeah, the zombie.
And they do a bunch of subgenres, like Winter Soldier was a political thriller. Shang-Chi was a kung fu superhero movie.
Sure.
So they work with all these different kind of genres, and I would love, as a fan of parody stuff, I would love to see Marvel Studios take on the parody genre. What do you think?
Well, I think that would be fun because it shows that you don't take yourself too seriously, and that you aren't afraid to poke fun at your own self, here and there, and I think that's, we've had this discussion in the past when we compared DC with Marvel. Is Marvel places a premium on humor to break the tension and stuff, whereas DC tends to break the tension with action or something else. It's like you didn't necessarily need to use that. You could have broken it with some humor or something like that. So they ratchet things up. So I think it would be kind of cool if it does turn out to be some sort of parody. I think that would be fun, and I think I would be interested to see what Feige and the team kind of come up with for that type of stuff. Because again, I mean, the further we go along in this universe, you need to have some sort of level set. Yeah. So.
Well, here's something that might get you a little bit more excited for.
Yeah.
So Wonder Man has always been a character that people fan cast because they're like, oh, he's one of the classic Avengers, and he's never even been mentioned. His non-superhero name, Simon Williams. So people have fan casted this person for years, or this character, and the most common name. And I know this guy gets fan casted a lot because he's so great, number one, but because he has the look, is Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion would be absolutely perfect in a superhero satire role.
Yeah.
And for a guy who has been fan casted and rumored for a lot of different roles.
Yeah.
What if this is the perfect role for Nathan Fillion?
The dude can deliver a comedic line like nobody else. I mean, he just is.
He's so good.
He's so good. His facial expressions are so fantastic. I mean, he's handsome as hell.
He's a very physical actor.
Yeah, and he's a good looking dude, and he's just a likable guy. Like, that's another dude in Hollywood that I'm like, I would sit down and have a beer with that guy and just enjoy the heck out of spending time with him, because he just strikes me as
a good segue actually off this.
He just strikes me as a really good dude to just hang out with So
him and Jason Bateman, I know they look alike. They kind of have the same look to them. Yeah, those are two guys I would love to just sit down and have a beer with.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's quite a few dudes in Hollywood that, you know, guys and gals that I would just, you know, I really get a kick out of just spending some time with and just kind of picking their brain. Yeah, but Nathan Fillion, I mean, going back to his Captain Malcolm Reynolds in Firefly and Serenity, you know, I mean, even if you go back further than that, he did that horror movie. Gosh, I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, he did that horror movie.
Well, he was great in Castle and
Castle's been great. I really love The Rookie. I really love The Rookie show. It's one of my favorites on television. They're starting to expand that universe a little bit.
Yeah, but, I just saw the spinoff commercial. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
They had her on a couple of episodes, and I thought it was really strangely placed. And I go, they're going to spin this. They're going to spin this off to have her be like a FBI agent rookie, you know, and I was like, and I was like, all right,
oh, you nailed that one.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that seemed a little off, but yeah, I mean, you know, he, like I said, Slither, I think, is the name of the one that he did.
That was the James Gunn movie.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like, it was James Gunn did that with him, you know.
Good friends with James Gunn. That's right.
And he was great.
That reminds me, he's been in the MCU, but he's never shown his face. Because he's just cameos in his movie. You know?
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
And he was arm fall off guy. What's his?
Yes. He was TDK. Is all he was doing is TDK. So, yes, he was so funny in that. Just. I don't even think he had many, like, a line at all or anything, but I don't
know. He did. I think he was talking about the dog. He's like, I think it's an Afghanistani or something, you know, like the Afghanistan wolf or something.
Just great. I mean, he just is.
He'd be perfect for a satire superhero role. You know? I mean, to bring that guy in for that role would be perfect. And speaking of another really handsome guy.
A guy that I want to hate. Like, I want to hate this dude, you know, like, but I can't. Like, I just can't, you know.
You want to hate him so bad.
Because he's just so good looking. You know, it's like.
He's so talented. He can sing. He can dance.
Yeah.
He could sit there and you could have a real conversation. He seems like a real down to earth guy, real good husband, dad. Next on the rundown, we got our first look at the handsome, very charismatic Ryan Gosling as Ken in the new Barbie movie, and I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, right.
But what we got, I feel like, okay, I am actually now excited to see their vision for this movie, because now this one picture of Ryan Gosling is insane.
Him.
Does it get you more excited?
I am down. I am totally on board. Like, I was already going to see this because I was like, I'm taking to Amelia, and I'm sure Jack will want to go see it too, you know. But the cast has been, it's like, unreal, man. The cast that they've announced is going to be great. You know, Margot Robbie looked tremendous in the picture that I saw of her.
You would expect, she looks like Barbie Norwood.
She is Barbie.
She looked like Barbie and Wolf of Wall Street. Like, that's what I was expecting.
She just is. She's just an amazingly attractive woman. And pairing her up with an amazingly attractive man in Ryan Gosling it makes total sense. Like, and he does look really good. He looks, and I think,
oh my God,
we were talking about parodies.
Not an ounce of fat on him.
Right. We were talking about parodies, you know, in the previous segment, and I look at him and I think to myself, you know, this is going to be somewhat of a parody of it, I think, you know, but they're not going to take, I should say, they're not going to take this thing too seriously, but they are going to do it as best they possibly can and make them look as close to the real life as, you know, as the characters as they can. I think it looks. I think it's awesome. And then the cast that I can see seems to be, Simu Liu is in it. America Ferrera, Kate McKinnon. Who I think the world of. I think she's so funny.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell. It seems like there's just a ton of folks that are gonna be in it. So
I mean, it's gonna be way above our expectations.
There's
too much talent involved for it to like fail now.
Yeah.
And now we have like his hair is like
it's ridiciit's ridiculously cool. I will make sure to put in the picture into the video.
Yes,
so if you're watching on YouTube, and I'll maybe I can even put it in the show notes for audio only, so you can click on that and check that out.
You get such a feel for the movie
for sure.
It's better than a trailer.
To go with the Margot Robbie shot that we got a few weeks ago.
Right.
I think if you just look at this. And then you go like the jean jacket, like the with the cut off sleeves. I'm like, oh my god, But I gotta go back to. I gotta go back to Michael Keaton as Ken in the Toy Story stuff. When he's so good. Oh my gosh,
they play that character in that movie so well.
Yeah. The Hawaiian Vacation, the short that they did called Hawaiian Vacation.
If you haven't seen that, go watch it.
We've
talked about it like 700 times on the show, but it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's... I didn't even know about it, and then you told me about it, Eric.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, I think this is my favorite Pixar thing ever.
It's so good. And it's like 4 minutes. Like, it's literally like 4 minutes. And like everything that you love and adore about Toy Story... in 4 minutes, like you get Buzz, and then you get like Spanish Buzz, and the scene with the cat litter, like just like all the different stuff is just it's so good.
Were they trying to keep Ken from being disappointed, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like he's just, like it's supposed to be like he's planned this whole trip, and so they're trying to keep, everybody thinks they're doing it for Barbie, but at the end of the day, it's really Ken that they're just trying to, because he's like,
so fragile.
He really is. He
really is so good.
She's like, Ken, can you come out here and tell me if I'm well, you wearing the pumps,
Go watch that, because now we're just laughing.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's so good. When you get a chance, it's on Disney Plus. So
it is on Disney Plus. If you're a Disney Plus subscriber, find it. And all of the Pixar shorts, if you haven't watched them,
I went down that train.
Yeah. Take especially if you got the little kids like that, 4 minutes, you can keep them. They can stay focused for 4 minutes, and there's some really, really good stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It is kind of an insane week for news. So next on the rundown, adding to the story that we talked about last week on the rundown about Joker 2 Folie à Deux is in development, and now we got more details this week as the Hollywood Reporter's reporting that Lady Gaga has been cast as Harley Quinn to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker for Joker 2. But holy shit, spoiler alert twist, it's going to be a musical. So not only did I get semi-excited to see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn and what that would be like, because how do you beat, again, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
But now it's a musical, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this decision? Eric, you're a glutton for punishment when it comes to DC movies. You gonna take one on the chin here?
They never cease to disappoint me. It's like they never. I didn't even watch the first Joker movie, and I know everybody like a lot of people.
20 minutes of it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people really loved it, and they thought it was like one of the greatest movies ever. But I just, you know, I think I've told everybody before in the show that I just don't understand. You're telling the backstory of a villain, you know, like trying to make him more human.
Last week about you,
yeah,
like,
you know, and I'm like,
I know Eric doesn't like this.
So I'm like, nope, you know. And now that we're gonna do a sequel to this and make it a musical,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's in charge over at DC. I really don't. I don't know if there's just nobody in charge, or
I think that's like, this new merger. Todd Phillips like, nobody's here. Let's greenlight this.
Yeah,
movie.
you know, I'm like, okay, are we just like literally throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks? You know, or like, hey, I want you to put this blindfold on, and I'm going to give you this dart, and I'm going to turn it around 6 times, and you just throw it at the wall, and whatever it lands on, we're dumping $100 million into it. You know, it's like, okay, are you sure that these are the best options? Making Joker 2 a musical, you know,
you'll never hit it.
You'll never hit it. That's just a filler. That'll never happen. You know, I
you need to cover up some space on the wall.
Let me
Takes his blindfold off.
Yeah, let me.
Oh,
God, for God's sakes, are you serious? I told you not to put it up on the wall. I told you not to put it up on the wall.
Well, what if you hit a blank space? What are you gonna do?
Right.
You know? Jesus.
The Lady Gaga casting. Okay, so if we just separate this from the musical stuff,
yes,
and you put Lady Gaga into the Harley Quinn role, I'm interested. I'm interested in what you're doing, because she's tremendously talented. She's going to take that as seriously as anybody, because she wants to be taken seriously, as she wants to be viewed as a serious actor, and so she's going to go at that role, I think, a lot more serious than other people would go at that role.
That's a really great perspective.
You know,
and knowing the Harley Quinn character, how do you separate it from Margot Robbie?
Yep.
You kind of
have to go,
bitch, like Lady Gaga.
Yeah. You kind of have to go in a completely different direction than the Harley Quinn that you showed with Margot Robbie. And, you know, going back to the Lego stuff too, with the Harley Quinn and that, you know, it's like, okay, if you wanted to reimagine, because they really did reimagine Joker as something completely different, and so if you're going to go with Lady Gaga as a Harley Quinn, she's not going to be the same Harley Quinn that you're seeing. No. You know, but she's got a tremendous amount of sex appeal. She's a psycho, you know, and so so I think Lady Gaga could nail that. You know, I really do, because she's a really beautiful woman, and she's tremendously talented vocally. And you know, I what I saw of her in the movie she did with Bradley Cooper, she looked really good in that. So
and she's done well in, you know, she's gotten really high acclaim for the Gucci movie.
I was going to say the Gucci movie. Stace watched it. She said it was awesome, and fantastic. She was really, really great in that. So yeah.
So she's really taken off as an emerging actress. And now are we being hypocrites because here's DC trying something new and taking on a genre, but also Marvel has the cred to do that. You know, they have the resume to do that.
I don't know if you're a musical. Really I don't like a superhero musical or a villain.
I'm not saying Marvel needs to now boot up a musical,
right?
But I think this is how much of a joke DC is. Is like, okay, Marvel takes on some subgenres, you know. Yeah. And DC's like, oh, we'll do that too.
Hold my beer. You guys are gonna do a parody, huh? Yeah. Hold this, you know, like we're really gonna go in a different direction.
See what we have planned for the show.
I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. So, Joaquin Phoenix is a tremendous talent. Lady Gaga is a tremendous talent. Hopefully, if they can put together
Todd
this
Phillips,
stuff.
the director, has put out nothing in his life that hasn't made me happy in some way. Even this Joker movie, the love in the nerd community for this, some of the greatest memes, some of the greatest. There was a Comic-Con going on in one city, and tons of Jokers dressed up as Joaquin Phoenix, and they did the dance down the stairs.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see. So everything Todd Phillips does, in some way, I have appreciation for. I just don't know if this is something that we ever need.
Maybe I'm missing the vision, and I'll be the first to admit I'm missing the vision here, and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So
that's a really good. That's a perfect statement.
Yeah.
And from that perfect statement, we'll transition from somebody who probably actually could, if you were like casting a Marilyn Monroe movie, Lady Gaga actually wouldn't probably be at the top of my list, but maybe on a short list because of her look and her blonde hair.
Yep.
But now that I've seen this trailer, so the last thing on the rundown here today is our last little trailer train. We didn't get much in the way of big trailers this week, just a couple of small things. And the first one on the trailer train is Ana de Armas's Marilyn Monroe in Blonde on Netflix. Movie coming up soon. And I knew this movie was in the works. I didn't know it was this close to being released. But I also am like, okay, I freaking love Ana de Armas. Absolutely adore her so much.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe, I'm sorry, what?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. You'll see this trailer, and I'm having a hard time understanding if they used real Marilyn Monroe footage at times in that trailer, or if that's actually Ana de Armas in that trailer.
I think you're gonna find
blown away.
Yeah,
blown away.
I think you're gonna find that's all Ana, because she just and it is scary how good she looks as Marilyn. We don't get a ton.
Like her,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Looks so much like her. And so we didn't really get much. It's a teaser, so they didn't really show plot, like what's happening, but. I mean,
give you a sense.
We really all know. I think anybody who knows anything about Marilyn knows the tragic, arc of her life and of Norma Jean, and so, but from what we saw, she looks really tremendous in it, and she's a tremendous talent. So, again, my always complaint about Netflix is there's something there, so maybe we'll, or something missing, but maybe they'll surprise me on this one and everything, but at least from a
look standpoint,
from a continuity standpoint, I mean, she looks the part, really.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
We highly recommend going out and watching this trailer.
Yeah.
Just to see the pure movie magic going on.
And you talk about a person who has struck gold and she needs to hit the iron while it's hot is this gal, because
More of her, please.
She is knocking it out of the park in everything that she's doing right now. Knives Out, I think that was the first thing I saw her in. I knew she was in other stuff, but she was
very small stuff.
Tremendous in Knives Out. Tremendous. She had a great role in No Time to Die.
I think she stole that movie for the 10 minutes she was in.
And I would not be surprised in the least bit if she got some sort of spinoff from that as like some sort of like agent, some sort of spy agent, because she was so good in that. She was so ditzy, when she first but then you realize, holy smokes, that's totally a ruse. Like, she's just, she's in charge the whole time, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Here's a question for you though, real quick.
Yeah.
They do that. Is it in the Daniel Craig universe, or is it with the new Bond?
That's a good question. I would not put her in the Daniel Craig. I mean, I would just say
she's like an M holdover. What's from the Pierce Brosnan,
Judy Dench.
Dame Judy Dench.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those scenarios where holdover from the previous.
Right.
Sorry. Listen, Marilyn Monroe, kind of a whack job. And this trailer also does in about a 3 to 5 second teaser at the end of this trailer, give you an idea that they are going to show Marilyn Monroe's other side.
Yeah,
I think we all know about it, but you know, I don't know if I've
that
seen
mirror. You're talking about the mirror scene where we see her. Yeah, and I had to rewatch that a second time because I was like, wait a minute, what just happened there? You know,
Yeah.
And then I was did
I look away and miss something?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Nope. You know, so we're gonna see. Yeah. We're gonna see some interesting stuff.
Dark side.
So, yeah, and that's a side that you know, you get put into the tremendous amount of pressure that must have been on her.
Yeah. As like the one sex symbol in the world.
Yeah, and the people that she interacted with at the level that they were at, both politically and then just in pop culture, you know, it just is.
I mean, at that time, who else was a sex symbol?
Yeah, I mean, you have Jane. Yeah, like Marilyn Monroe. And I think Jane. Maybe they came along afterwards. Maybe I think Jane Mansfield maybe came.
Yeah, that was after.
Yeah, I'm obviously I wasn't. I'm old, but I'm not quite that old. You know, to be around for that stuff. But
I mean, there was people like Audrey Hepburn was beautiful. It wasn't a sex symbol, you know.
Right.
So there's that.
Yep.
Go watch the trailer. We'll move on to our last little itty bitty piece of the rundown here.
Yeah.
And thank you, Eric, for showing me this. I didn't even see this come out. But a trailer for the movie Devotion was released, and it's starring big name in the past year, Jonathan Majors. This guy is skyrocketing into stardom, and I think as you see more of him in the King the Conqueror role, just going to go more and more and more. He's also the bad guy coming up in Creed 3, where he's going to square off with his good buddy Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
And God, did he get monstrous for that role?
Oh, I'm sure. Majors. Yeah.
Go look up those pictures if you're interested. But also in this movie is someone whom I believe is going to absolutely skyrocket into stardom as well. And that would be Glenn Powell. And if you don't know who that is, I am sort of disappointed to let you know that maybe you should go out and see Top Gun Maverick, because you would definitely know who Glenn Powell is after that. And we're going to do our Top Gun Maverick review, you know, here in the Presents next up. But Glenn Powell, definitely a name to get to know, because he's a rising star. And so I'll let you talk about what this movie is, Eric.
Sure.
And then we'll move to the Nerdbox, because we've got a really good question.
Yeah, we do. Cousin Andy drops a gem on us.
Cousin Andy here.
Cousin Andy. So Devotion is based on a true story from a book by the same title called Devotion, an epic story of heroism, friendship, and sacrifice. And it was written by a guy named Adam Makos. But it's the story of two guys during the Korean War, Jesse Brown and Tom Hudner. And so we don't get a ton of stories. I mean, MASH is really the only story that really, you know, like a pop culture type thing that tells a lot of stuff about the Korean War. It's labeled the Forgotten War, you know, because it took place after World War II, and everybody thinks, oh, well, everybody just went back to normal life, and it was peaceful, and then there was a pause in between there and the Vietnam War, you know, and so you kind of get this war that went on for 3 or 4 years that cost us a lot of, you know, blood and treasure. And
real quick point on it, it's the bloodiest war we have in a per capita type scenario, where we lost 30,000 soldiers in
like 4 years.
In three years.
Yeah.
And we lost 60,000 in 10 years in Vietnam.
In Vietnam. Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Or at least not a per capita, but it was definitely It's the Forgotten War, and
Right.
it was we lost more men on it per capita than the Vietnam War.
Right. Yeah. So Jonathan Majors plays Jesse Brown, who was the first African American naval aviator, and so. They fly the F-4U Corsair, which is a pretty distinctive looking airplane. It has these bent wings and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
You can definitely tell it's like a step up from what Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett,
Right.
not the most accurate Pearl Harbor movie,
Right.
But, you see the planes that they fly in that movie. You can tell it's like the next step up.
Yeah, and so you have obviously the race issue that is during that time period, and so the challenges that he faces as the challenges that he faces, just trying to contribute and do his job, and so they are involved in a battle off of the Chosin battle, which is when the Chinese came across the border and wiped out almost the entire Marine division. So these guys are sent in to try and do close air support, and there is Jesse Brown's plane gets hit, and so Tom Hudner, who is played by Glenn Powell, they are flying together, and so there's some things, and I don't want to give away too much because it's actually a really great story, but suffice to say, Jesse Brown earns the Distinguished Flying Cross for it, and Tom Hudner ends up with the Medal of Honor, and so it's a heartbreaking story. It's a great story, and it, to me, especially with the way our country seems to be embroiled in racial tension stuff, I think stories like these are important for us to remember and tell, because not everybody feels that way, and not everybody is at each other's throats, and there are people willing to sacrifice for other people, sacrifice everything for other people regardless of what their skin color is and stuff. So anyhow, trailer looks, I think, really good. Like you said earlier, these are two like gigantic guys who I feel are on the precipice of being gigantic movie stars. With Glenn Powell playing Tom Hudner, and then Jonathan Majors playing Jesse Brown. So I think it's gonna be really good. Two really great actors, and the trailer looks super cool.
I'm just happy they're doing a movie about the Korean War. It's a war that my grandpa was in, and
same with mine. Mine was in both. Yeah. My grandfather was in both World War II and Korea.
So it's definitely, and again, when you are losing more people on a per capita basis than Vietnam, but Vietnam's the big war because of why. They should all be. There should never be a forgotten war.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, NRDbox time.
Here we go.
We got a NRDbox question, and I'm just gonna. You'll know who it is in a second when I start reading the question. It says, "Hey there, Cousin Andy here." He's got his own catchphrase now.
I love that, by the way. I think that's just the greatest thing.
I love it, and you're welcome for giving you for confusing you for family members. Either way, Cousin Andy here got a question for the crew. One of y'all's laugh kind of reminds me of Drax's laugh, and I really like it. That's Cousin Andy saying that.
Right.
Yeah, I like it too. But it got me thinking, who has the best laugh? It could be a superhero, villain, or just anyone on the screen. So I'm going to ask you, Eric, who has the best laugh?
This... I had to think about this for a while, and does a fake laugh count? Because my favorite laugh is.
I mean, every laugh we're seeing on TV or movies, I feel like is a fake laugh. That in some form.
That is true. I love go back to the Joker. You know, we talked about the Joker earlier, and I go back to Nicholson's Joker in the original Batman movie that he did.
That is a very forced laugh.
Yeah, and I'm like, gosh, you know, but
okay.
I think if I could target like one individual laugh, and I've actually made it, I've used it a few times, is Goose from the original Top Gun, and when he you know, he's laughing and he laughs at Iceman's joke about the ladies' room, you know, or whatever. And he just, I can't even do it. Like
it's like,
yeah. And I've done it before when somebody says like a really bad joke, like, you know, and so I've done that laugh, like, oh Jesus, oh you killed me, you really did. Yeah.
2 hours in Goose.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I'm gonna go with Goose's laugh from the original Top Gun. Okay. So yeah.
I love that answer. Obviously, just very on-hand topic, or on-hand, yeah, because it's not off-topic.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much on
topic. Yeah.
Good reference there. I like that one. I'm gonna go with I don't know if it's the best laugh, but maybe just memorable laugh. And who is really good at laughing is Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Several memorable laughs, and ones I've used, especially as a kid, as a big Ace Ventura fan. And main reason why I went Hawaiian tonight.
Yeah.
So, because as you know, as we're thinking about the best laughs, I'm like, Jim Carrey's, when he does his Ace Ventura, and he is like, you know, his Riddler laugh, his Truman Show laugh, you know, he's just like, does that bend back and stuff. So I don't know. I think Jim Carrey's got a old timer.
That's a dynamite laugh, and he's got multiple different ones that, like you said, that he has pulled out. But rewinding back to what Andy says, the Drax laugh, is it makes me laugh listening to him laugh, you know, and I think that's the sign of a good laugh is, and I think I've told you this story, but when my wife and I went on like our first date, we went and watched Couples Retreat.
Yeah.
And I shocked her with how loud like my laugh was. You know, I think she was looking around to make sure nobody was looking at us, you know, because my laugh was so loud.
Oh man.
But she has a really great laugh also, you know, and so together, like, I think we have like the two of us have like really great laughs, you know, and so, and like neither one of us we've been together for so long. It's like neither one of us hold back on that. But the Drax,
people I know, Joey, my 2-year-old, has the best laugh.
Oh, she's got a good laugh.
Yeah.
But the Drax laugh is, there's nothing like it. You know, there's nothing like that laugh, and he's so literal, you know, with everything. Oh my God, you must be so embarrassed.
So embarrassed.
She told your deepest, darkest secret.
Oh man, I have a violent laugh. Apparently, a lot of people know that I like to clap when I'm a clap.
Oh sure, yeah.
I also will, like, if I'm like at a comedy show and I'm like, hard, I'm like 5-minute major in hockey for elbowing the people just like oh, you know, it's just like really like, are you feeling my, you know, how much I'm laughing? So I'm trying to work on that, but it's not going.
Don't change yourself. That's who you are, and you know what? If your friends can't handle the violence, you know, then they need to do something different. So
then F them, right?
Right.
I will say, if you think about like fake laughs, because it's on a movie, and it's one we've talked about, I think in the last couple of weeks, it's been, I don't know, time these days is really out the window for me. But R.I.P. Ray Liotta had that, you know, and it's, we talked about it turning into one of the best memes of all time.
Memes, yeah.
Just really funny. He has a really good subtle app as Jeff Goldblum.
Right.
You know, he does one of those things.
Although my favorite Jeff Goldblum is actually David Duchovny's Jeff Goldblum. his imitation of 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Also, Tom Hiddleston does a really good Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, good rundown this week. I love sometimes how there's like a running theme and we don't plan it. You know, like if it's going to be a trailer heavy week or, you know, a week like this where you get Jon Snow news, you get Wonder Man news, which for diehard Marvel fans is like, okay, finally. But then you hear it's going to be like a parody or satire series, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know how that's going to work. You get this Ryan Gosling as Ken picture is insane. Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn in Joker 2, which is a musical. Ana de Armas blowing our minds as Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Just an incredible rundown of like, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah.
That's I'll take potpourri for 500, Darren. It's all over the map.
Suck it, Trebek. Very, very, very good rundown, and cousin Andy coming in with a really, really great, unique question, actually.
Yeah, so, and you know what I think would be
like,
fun.
Who's the strongest Avenger? It's really, really unique kind of question.
Yeah. What would really be fun is, you know, if you email the show, hit us on Twitter or comments on the YouTube.
Yeah.
What's your favorite laugh in movies? You know, because I know I'm missing like a ton. There are some great laughs out there. You know, in
1,000 of them.
Yeah. So I would be really interested to hear like what other people really enjoy.
Absolutely. One I always think about is Phoebe in Friends when she like was fake laughing and then she starts like coughing really hard. I don't know why I think about that a lot. But anyway, man, it was good getting on with you, Erik.
Yep.
I love when we do it, just you and me every once in a while. It brings me back to the beginning.
It's a good time.
Some really good times. But we're gonna hop on the Presidents. We're gonna review Top Gun. We might have some special guests coming on the show. Not John Krasinski or Tom Cruise, but just almost slightly as cool as them.
Krasinski couldn't make it this week. You know, his schedule's full. He's a busy guy. Yeah. You know, he's a busy guy. So,
but you know, just tune in to
one of these days.
The Nerd Rundown Presents, and you're gonna get John Krasinski one of these days.
Yep.
So, with that being said, Erik, my man, brother, miss you, love you.
Love you too, man.
With that being said, see you all next week on the Nerd Run.
See ya. Bye.